Hi, I'm making this specifically for YouTube and X, and it's about something I wrote called The Silence of the Bell Jar. And and I'm specifically talking about the way lesbianism, lesbo-phobia, was treated in Sylvia Plath's work. Now, in her novel, The Bell Jar, there's a lot of lesbophobia, an extreme degree of lesbophobia. But she has to all come back to the subject repeatedly, wearing it like a sore tooth. Why? Okay, there's a character in there who is the novel is kind of a coming of age story of Esther Greenwood, who is often taken as a kind of stand-in for Sylvia Plath. Esther Greenwood was a young woman who had a nervous breakdown. Now, the character of Joan Gilling is something like Esther Greenwood, except Esther finds her both fascinating and repulsive. And like she says that her voice made me want to puke. And she at one point tells her, "You make me want to puke." Okay, and the reason for that is that it's very strongly suggested that Joan Gilling is a lesbian. Okay, now throughout the novel, the subject of lesbianism is rejected, but as she keeps coming back to it, like she's wearing a sore tooth. Why? Okay, and she talks about having to reject Joan Gilling, and being fascinated by her. She says she was fascinated by her like a Martian or a warty toad. And that kind of reminds you of how they thought of gay people in those days. You know, they were kind of like Martians. But of course you had to reject it. Now, the odd thing about it is, toward the end of the novel, Joan Gilling commits suicide. And Esther Greenwood wonders, I wondered what it was I was burying. What she was probably burying was her own same-sex attraction. Now, oddly enough, Sylvia Plath went on to have a cat that she would name Sappho. And one of her most brilliant poems is called Lesbos.